On the 26th of January, it was somebody's birthday. So I would like to speak about birth. Not as birthday as such, but birth as one of the dependent origination, paticcasamuppada, dependent origination which actually cause suffering. The first one, we start with Avijja, not knowing what is real, not knowing Ariya Sat, not knowing the Four Noble Truths. And then towards the last, almost last one, you have Jati. Jati means birth. Before birth is Bhava. Bhava is desire to be born. Now, desire to be born, this can happen many times in our life. But you look at the big circle of life. I am born as this person, but before I was born, I had that desire to be born, which is called Bhava. Then this birth, then I have taken on this birth. But we always desire to be born because we did not know that with birth, there is also the negative side of it. There is no birth that comes free by itself. Birth always precedes getting old, getting sick, and eventually all kind of suffering that comes afterwards. This, most of the time, we don't realize. Like, you want to be this, you want to be that, you want to be, suppose if you want to be Prime Minister, it's so good, to be in that stage. You are always the leader of the government, but you don't realize that together with that status, many responsibilities comes. Many negative feelings might come if you are not a good Prime Minister, so to say. So with birth, there is this old age and sickness that we didn't expect. But there is no birth yet that comes by itself without getting old and getting sick and death. When we are born, we experience suffering. Everyone wants to get out of this suffering. And the leaders, or the religious leaders in the Buddha's time, all of them realized that we as human beings, we are trying to find ways to get out of this suffering. They prescribed many techniques, but the Buddha was the only one who actually come up one step ahead of everyone else. That is to say that, well, if you do not want suffering, if you do not want suffering which is caused by old age and sickness, you have to stop birth. And how are we stopping birth? The Buddha prescribed many techniques how we should, we should not cause things which will be the cause to bring you to birth. You have to stop all kind of connections which links you to future birth. So this is most interesting. And in other religions, in other religious practice at that time, they were prescribing only the way how to get out of suffering in this birth, not realizing that what presupposes old age and sickness is birth. Therefore, when the Buddha, when the Prince Siddhartha first start coming out from his palace, searching for the way out of suffering, out of old age and out of sickness, only to discover that, by gosh, you have to stop birth. That is the most, the most valuable teaching that the Buddha actually provide. So once when we realize that this birth brings with it suffering, old age and death, so we have to be conscious of what we desire now. What we desire should not be the cause or causes to bring about new birth. So this is our practice that we should be more concerned. And I would like to touch a little bit on birthday, as a birthday boy, birthday person, that what is very important for those people who want to celebrate their birthday, the first thing to do is to pay respect to your mother, because you had been with her for at least 9 months before you actually come out and see this world. So the person who had been with you, just 2 of you only, for 9 months, that is the person that you should pay respect with gratitude, and always keep that meaningful relationship alive. in this birth, for her happiness, for your happiness. And that is how we greet each other, really, happy birthday.